Princess Peach is one of the most beloved characters in the Mario universe. But is she really happy? Disappeared. In the first Mario movie, we discover that Peach was separated from her parents when she was still very young. It is almost certain that she was still wearing diapers when she disappeared from her original home. And that was the beginning of all the suffering in Princess Peach's life. To start with, we don't even know if that is her real name, because most of the time, it is the parents who name their babies. But as we already mentioned, Peach was very young when she disappeared. Because of that, it is almost certain that it was the Toads who gave the princess that name. Imagine how horrible it must be not knowing your own name. And if the theory that Rosalina is a relative of the Mushroom Kingdom princess, as many fans believe, is true, it might be in this movie that we finally discover the truth behind the identity of Mario's girlfriend. But we are also going to talk about the romantic interest between these two characters, because this relationship might not be what most fans think, so stay tuned. So grab your popcorn and get comfy on the couch. Another Cinewave is starting. Abandoned. What if Peach was in fact abandoned by her parents? This theory makes a lot of sense. Did you know that? Don't you agree? We're going to show you the evidence. Peach may be feeling sad because she feels abandoned by her real parents. This theory connects with the idea that Rosalina is a relative of the Toad's princess, since many people believe they are mother and daughter, as they look very similar. But what if they are sisters? The theory says that because both of them are princesses, only one of them could be the Queen of the Stars, and in this case, Peach's parents chose Rosalina to take the throne of the galaxy. But why would they have abandoned Peach? It's very simple to explain. Maybe the parents of the princesses survived an ancient war between siblings over the throne of the Comet Observatory, which is the place where Rosalina lives with the Lumas. You've seen this kind of story in many places, where two heirs of a kingdom go to war because one wants to steal what belongs to the other. This story is told in many universes, so in the Mario world, Rosalina's and Peach's parents may have chosen to separate the sisters and avoid a fight between them, all to protect the kingdom. Does that make sense to you? Peach, for being a princess, knows that power struggles happen, and maybe she knows that she was abandoned by her parents. Another clue is that no one ever went looking for her. The princess must feel awful knowing that her parents never tried to find out how she is doing. Childhood. What if Peach's childhood was bad? You saw that in the scene from the first movie when she trains Mario, our hero takes a long time to master the mushrooms and learn how to jump and break the blocks. All of this is a huge reference to the game's style. But Peach is very good at fighting, isn't she? That means she had intense training since she was a child. And that makes a lot of sense, since the Toads are not very good fighters. This is not exactly a good thing because Peach may have lost a large part of her childhood training in learning how to fight. And because of that, it is very possible that she doesn't know how to play or have fun. And the worst part of all is that you watched the first movie and know that the Mushroom Kingdom is a very beautiful place and must be really fun to live in. Of course, if you're not Princess Peach. Poor girl, she probably never got to enjoy it. Marriage. And what about Peach's biggest nightmare? This is what caused her to be taken by force by Bowser for many years throughout the Mario games. All the persecution she is forced to endure just because the villain doesn't understand that she doesn't want to marry him. In the first movie, the entire conflict of the story was because of this, and in most of the games, Peach also had to face the idea of being forced to marry the King of the Koopas. But everything is even worse. Bowser Jr. believes that Peach must be his mother. Because of that, he attacks the Mushroom Kingdom to take her by force during the Falling Stars Festival. In other words, it's not just Bowser who likes to invade the Toad's home to take Peach away. And that is definitely a very annoying and sad thing, isn't it? Would you like to see Peach getting married someday? Comment the hashtag Peach so we can get to know you. Beautiful. Mario might get jealous hearing this, but the truth is that Peach is a very beautiful girl, isn't she? No one disagrees that she was blessed with great beauty, but is that really a good thing? Since the first game, everyone says that Peach is Mario's love interest and that the two of them will end up together at some point, but that never happened. Last year, Nintendo even said that the two are just good friends. Could that mean that the Mushroom Kingdom princess was never in love with Mario, or with anyone at all? That must be a problem, because maybe she has to reject our hero many times, and that is very uncomfortable. Being a beautiful girl can be a headache, and it's almost certain that Peach knows that very well. Friends. Do you know what is even worse? You don't see any other humans in the Mushroom Kingdom besides Peach and the Plumber Brothers, right? That's because they are not there. The next theory says that Peach not only spent her childhood training hard to become a great warrior, but she also didn't have any friend who was similar to her. Let's think about how sad that can be. Not having any friends can be a big problem. Without someone to share your dreams and secrets with, it's the same as being alone, don't you think? And don't get it wrong, the Toads definitely kept Peach company, but it's not the same as having another girl by her side as her best friend. War. Have you noticed that the Mario universe is a very violent place, haven't you? It's not just Bowser who is a major villain, but many other enemies exist in this universe as well, such as Wario and Waluigi. Peach knows very well that she lives in a place where everyone has to be extremely careful, because they can be attacked at any moment. And this is yet another reason why the princess's life is far from easy. Living in a place where a war can break out every single day is truly terrible, which is why the Toads need a hero. Goodbye. And what if, in truth, Princess Peach actually wants to leave forever? This is something that could very well be true. She was not born in the Mushroom Kingdom, and since the first movie, we have been certain that she wants to discover her true story, to find out where she came from and who her parents are, why they never went looking for her. Are they still alive? Does she have siblings? All of this is a huge mystery that Princess Peach desperately wants to uncover, and that may be exactly why she feels sad, because she doesn't know what to do to find the truth, and maybe she wants to leave, escape from Bowser, and still protect the Toads. All of this was impossible until two Plumber Brothers showed up at the door of her castle. Now, with Mario and Luigi finally trained and capable of protecting the Mushroom Kingdom, Peach can finally search for the truth behind her story, and maybe we'll see that in the next movie, or in the next video on the channel. The subscribe button is right there, waiting for you. How about clicking and keeping up with everything we post? The Toads. And speaking of training the plumbers to become heroes, we have another problem that makes Peach's life difficult: the responsibility of protecting this kingdom. Considering that Peach was the only one fighting against the enemies, it is more than certain that she has carried an enormous burden ever since she arrived in the Mushroom Kingdom. Peach cannot be happy having to fight so many battles to escape Bowser's false love while also needing to protect the citizens of her kingdom. Does she truly like the little Toads, or does she think they could be a bit braver and stronger so they could fight on their own? Princess. One thing is being the great hero of the Mushroom Kingdom, and something very different is ruling the Toads as their princess. Another detail that belongs on our list is the fact that Peach is forced to lead an entire country from a very young age. Whoever said that Peach wants to have this kind of responsibility? And maybe this is even more exhausting than having to fight the Koops Empire. We say this because Bowser is dealt with using brute force and a few punches, but governing is much harder. You need to understand laws and many other things. Taking on this kind of responsibility goes far beyond using the power of mushrooms to destroy the Koopa Empire. That is exactly why Peach's life is far from simple. After all, let's think about who ruled the Toads before the princess. The original legend of the Mario universe, which we know from old comic stories, introduces the character King Mushroom, Princess Peach's father, but the movie changed that. The princess fell into the kingdom from somewhere else, which means that in the movie universe, Peach's father does not exist. King Mushroom never ruled, and because of that, she never had a family or was taught how to be a leader. Having to carry the weight of being a princess must be incredibly difficult, and when you combine that with everything we've explained so far, such as the mystery of Peach's origin, her desire to leave, Bowser's pursuit, and everything else, all of this proves that this princess has a much heavier life than most fans imagine. But what do you think about that? Daisy and Rosalina. The next movie will introduce Princess Rosalina, and we are certain that Mario 3 will introduce Princess Daisy from Land. These two characters, especially Daisy, are Peach's best friends. In the current game universe, the girls spend a lot of time together, which is normal since they are all princesses. But have you ever stopped to think that Princess Peach will eventually have to say goodbye to her friends? That's true, because each of them has her own kingdom to rule. Peach needs to stay in the Mushroom Kingdom, Rosalina doesn't even live on the planet and must remain in the Comet Observatory, while Daisy is the ruler of Land. They can't stay together for long periods of time and have fun every day like close friends, because that simply isn't possible. And this brings us back to everything that has been said so far. Princess Peach, as much as she loves the Toads, must feel lonely because she doesn't have friends like her nearby. And that is very sad. But what do you think about that?
Aww.
Protagonist. After everything we've explained, do you know what the saddest part of Peach's life is? She is not the main character of this universe. This story is not about her. The movie wouldn't be called Mario if the princess were the most important character in the universe. Peach may not consciously realize this, but she is smart. She certainly feels that the Italian plumber from New York is the main character since Bowser was only truly defeated after he appeared in the Mushroom Kingdom. Could it be that, in some way, she feels jealous after spending so many years alongside the Toads training and fighting for them, only to realize in the end that the main character is a short man with a funny mustache? Poor girl, don't you think? We think you can keep having fun with us. The fun doesn't stop here. There are 2 amazing videos waiting for you on the screen. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.